Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, today I want to show you how to close a push-button automatic knife one-handed. It's very easy to do. A lot of people don't think about this. It's second nature to just use two hands to close these knives. Now, the first knife on the right represents most modern push-button automatics where you literally have a button. Sometimes you'll have some kind of a safety. Maybe it's a switch that'll switch on or off, but in this case there's no safety, so when you push the button, it releases the blade. Okay, now what's being done here is there's a spring, a coil spring in this particular case, inside the pivot, and there's spring tension already built up on this blade. When this is closed all the way, it locks in, but there's pressure built up. So when you push this button down, all you're doing is you're moving that out of the way to allow that pressure to be released and open up the blade. So to close this one-handed, okay, normally that's how you would close it. You'd push the button in, depress the button to unlock this particular knife, and then close it two hands, right? But you don't have to, okay? When you're ready to use this knife and you're ready to close it, all you have to do is choke up on the knife. Normally your grip's down here, okay? Move your hand upward a little bit, push that lock button in because that's going to allow the blade to move freely. Then you can take your pointer finger, okay, and initiate this downward motion. Now, you could just bring this all the way down with the pointer finger, right? But it's going to be a lot more comfortable to bring it most of the way, okay? And while holding that with the pointer finger, you're going to move your thumb over and grab the side of the blade and bring it in the rest of the way. All right, because remember, when you're closing this knife, you're basically working against all that spring tension, okay? So at any point in time, when you go to close this, if you let go, it wants to spring back open, all right? But it's not that hard to do. Open, use your knife, close it, okay? Now, this is a different type of automatic. Obviously, people are well aware of stilettos, all right? This works in a different fashion. It's still a push-button automatic. Push the button, it opens, right? But in this particular case, you don't push the button to unlock the blade, okay? You move the bolster over. There's a bolster lock, okay? And what this bolster is doing is pivoting, pushing up, basically, a back lock, okay? So normally what you do is you would push the button, it would open up, okay? And you use two hands, right? Hold the back of the blade and close it with two hands. Well, in this case, you could do the exact same thing with the first knife, only instead of pushing the button, you're going to be depressing this lock, all right? By pushing the bolster down. Pointer finger, of course, you're going to keep your fingers out of the channel here, okay, in case the blade closes on you. And as you're pushing down, you're going to be fighting that spring. In this particular case, the spring it has a leaf spring in here, all right, so you're not going to have any tension against the blade until you get to this point. It could be anywhere from like here all the way up to here, all right, but it's going to be loose all the way up to that point where the bottom of the tang is touching that spring. All right, so once again, open the knife when you want to close it, depress the lock, all right, pointer finger starts, thumb brings it in the rest of the way until it's clicked shut, okay? Now the third knife here, this is not an automatic knife. This is just a standard lock back, happens to be an old-timer model, but this represents the conversion push-button autos, okay? There's a lot of knives like this, especially buck models, a lot of old-timers out there that have been converted into automatic knives, whether there's a push button or sometimes the shield itself is the disguise button, so you can push the bottom of the shield, okay, and it'll automatically open, you know, with a spring inside. So although this is not automatic and I don't have one to represent in this video, I still want to explain how to do this because it's a little bit trickier. All right, so obviously some lockbacks, the lockback will be towards the center, okay? It's a little bit easier in the fact that, you know, once you push the button and it opens up, your hand's already right there. Your thumb can depress that lock back and do the same thing where you're using your pointer finger to start, and as that, you know, gets off of kilter, let's say I did depress the lock in the middle, okay, you can twist, bring the pointer finger down until the thumb can reach it and suck it in the rest of the way. Now because this lock is so far down, this changes the situation here, okay? So let's say you push the button, all right, opens up. Use your knife. What you want to do is get into a reverse grip here, but choke down, okay, as much as you possibly can without putting that edge up against your pinky, okay? Now you're going to get a grip like this. You're going to depress the lock with your thumb and squeeze. You're squeezing down, and what you're doing is you're pushing the back of this blade up against your palm, all right? And that is going to knock it off kilter so it's no longer locked. So once you depress this, see I push down a little bit, all right? If you want to, you can move your pinky out of the way, but shouldn't cut you or anything. All right, change your grip back to a normal grip. You can see how this is now unlocked, okay? Now in the case of an automatic, you'll be fighting that spring tension. So same deal, pointer finger starts it, thumb brings it in the rest of the way, all right? So pretty easy method. So there you go, guys. Just a couple different techniques to close your push button automatics with one hand. Something that's noteworthy here is automatics are very popular amongst the handicapped. If you're missing a finger, or you have deformations in your hand, or if you're missing a hand or an arm, it's very hard to use pocket knives, generally speaking. So that's why they get automatic knives. But what I've seen is very common is that they'll be able to open it, but as far as closing, what they'll do is they'll depress the lock and push it, up against something like this, to close it. Or they use the side of their body, or somewhere by their pocket or leg or something. All right, so again, you're depressing that lock and using an object, in this case the table, to close it. But you don't have to do that. Okay, again, just using a simple technique, you can be able to close it with one hand. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon.